our brains are like Velcro for negativity. And when you think about it, they have to be. It's an evolutionary trait that we retain more negative memories, that we recall incidents that made us feel threatened or made us feel fear in order to prevent them happening again. Likewise, life has all the ups and downs. I mean, it's never a straight trajectory, and no amount of positive affirmations or positive thinking are actually going to change that. And that's why I try to implement more realistic thinking and paying attention to positive moments as opposed to assuming that if you just think positive thoughts everything is going to be great, or if you just tell yourself a very nice story that all of a sudden life is going to look very different, because we forget about how powerful our brains are and how conscious we need to remain on a day-to-day basis in order to avoid getting sucked into that negativity bias on an ongoing basis. And I think first of all, with all of the emphasis on staying positive all of the time, which is impossible. I mean, nobody does it, no matter what they say. It's like as if there's almost negative connotations with feeling anything bar positivity. I mean, you have to feel bad at times. Now, there's a big difference between feeling your feelings and wallowing in them. You know, you have to be able to experience them. You have to accept that life is going to have its ups and downs in order to be able to respond accordingly, in order to not get sucked down by it. Because as I said, life can be challenging, but you're strong and you're able to get through it. It's just you need to equip yourself with the tools necessary, and part of that is developing acceptance. You also need to develop an awareness of the negativity bias, of the likelihood that your mind is going to give you a story which isn't always that beneficial to you. And in order to counteract that, you need to start paying attention to the positives in your life. Now, there's a big difference between paying attention to the good moments and thinking positively all the time. Paying attention to the good moments means actually noticing good things that happen on a day-to-day basis. Nothing out of the ordinary, even just nice things like, God, I'm alive today, or there's a lovely sunrise, or my kid is just after doing the cutest thing despite the fact that they've been a dickhead for the last 2 hours, you know, that sort of thing. But not just experiencing it, but absorbing it, installing it, and, you know, saying to yourself, do you know what, this feels good. Even if the rest of my day has been shit, this is really nice, and I want to remember this. I want it to move from my short-term memory into my long-term memory bank so that I can conjure it up at another stage when I need to remind myself, you know, that life isn't as bad as I think. Likewise with the affirmations. Now, not all affirmations are completely useless. A lot of them are. They're not something I work with a lot. But if you're going to use an affirmation, please make it something that you actually have a belief in, as opposed to being just some ubiquitous kind of airy-fairy concept such as, you know, I am amazing. I mean, yeah, you probably are amazing, but if you're in a particularly bad place, you possibly inherently don't believe that. So there's no point telling yourself that. Instead, you can give yourself something that you can actually believe in, that is solid for you, such as, I deserve to heal. I deserve to have a peace of mind. I deserve to be satisfied with my life. And these are all things that you can actually believe and that you can work with, as opposed to telling yourself something that you have no belief in whatsoever and that is no ways beneficial to you. And I suppose that's what's important. It's about working with who you are as opposed to working with who you think you need to be. You don't need to be positive all the time. There are going to be tough times. You are going to struggle. But if you have your resiliency tools in place, if you are able to recognize that suffering is part and parcel of life, if you have adequate self-acceptance and awareness, then you can work through things. You can reach out to others. You're able to connect with others sufficiently in order to allow them to help you, because part and parcel of getting through this journey is about letting other people guide you and help you and, you know, lift you up when you need it. And I mean, it's like as if we have this kind of whole ego thing going on. We feel like as if we can't admit that we feel a little bit defeated, or that things are going wrong for us, or that life isn't as amazing as our Instagram or our Facebook makes out. The reality is that's what connects us, that little vulnerability, that being like, do you know what? I'm really, really struggling here. I could do with just somebody giving me a kind word or a hug or, you know, a bit of advice. And I mean, it's such a lovely thing. You know, it strengthens the other person, it strengthens you, it strengthens the relationship. So the more we do it, the better off we're going to be. And as I said, that vulnerability, that recognition that we're not able to do it all by ourselves is such a weight off your shoulders when you release it. You know, recognizing that you don't have to be perfect, that you don't have to be in control, that you don't have to live this amazing life in order to live a really, really satisfactory life. And then, you know, it's kind of getting to that place of acceptance, getting to that place where you're good to yourself and you're good to others. And that's what it's all about. If you'd like to work with me on this, get in touch with me on the website. It's fundamentals.ie.